Storm Brendan has swept into the UK, battering Northern Ireland and Scotland with winds of more than 90 miles an hour. There are weather warnings of high winds across much of Scotland, with some schools shut and delays to road, rail, ferries and flights. The storm is moving across the rest of the UK this evening. We can talk now to a ship's captain who has safely steered his ferry through some of the worst of that storm. Captain Matt Lynch is on the Stena Estrid crossing the Irish Sea, and we're very grateful for you joining us here on BBC News, Captain Lynch. I wondered if you could tell us what happened on the way from Holyhead to Dublin.
Hi, good evening, and thank you for having me on the show. Of course, the weather conditions were very, very severe. We've been watching them for 2 or 3 days now, so we timed our departure from Holyhead to ensure that we were at sea as Storm Brendan passed up the Irish Sea. And when we arrived off of Dublin, we timed it just about perfectly, actually, and were able to make an arrival straight into Dublin when the worst of the weather conditions had passed through and clear.
So did you and the passengers not feel the storm then?
We did. I mean, we experienced sea conditions of about 5 to 6 metres. It is a maiden voyage for the Stena Estrid, the first time we've made the passage. But of course, we've got a lot of experience of the ship, having travelled from China through the various oceans around the world. We had a 5 to 6 metre sea. The ship did move around, but we did what we could to make it as comfortable as we possibly can. And of course, the safety of the passengers is our real limit, really, and what is comfortable for them. So we monitor the weather conditions very well. The ship performed extremely well, a fantastic sea ship. The real limit for the ship is passenger comfort, and we of course steered a series of weather routing courses across the Irish Sea. It took a little bit longer than we expected, but of course the main thing is the safety of the ship and the comfort and safety of our passengers on the way across.
You mentioned, was it waves of 5 to 6 metres? Can you give us a sense of what it feels like to be on a ship that's being rocked by those kinds of waves?
Well, the ship, what we try and do is to present ourselves to the weather conditions or the waves to make sure the ship doesn't move too much. And of course, the ship is fully stabilised as well. But we try and put them big waves just on the bow of the ship, the front of the ship, and that just eases the motion. So we get a balance between the ship pitching, so that means going up and down, and then rolling, which is side to side. So we just try and find a balance between that to make it as comfortable as we can. But if you imagine almost being on I don't want to say a roller coaster, because of course it's not as violent as that. The ship is a lot slower in motion, but you are still moving through that 5 to 6 metres. It's just trying to ease the motion to something that's comfortable for the people that are moving around the ship. I mean, 5 to 6 metres, what's that? The height of your average semi-detached house in the UK. So it is quite a big wave. But of course we're on a very large, well-founded ship, and of course we do everything we can to make it as comfortable as we can and as safe as we can.
How did the passengers react? I have to ask you, were any of them seasick? I think I might have been.
I'm afraid we did have 1 or 2 green faces on the ship, and it's always unfortunate to see that, because of course we don't want our guests to suffer on the way across, and you know, their comfort and their safety is our most important priority. The ship is a fantastic sea ship. Unfortunately, not everyone has their sea legs, and we're very, very sympathetic towards that, and that's why we do everything we can to make it as comfortable as we can as we go across.
Just finally, I think you've broken up to talk to us, but you're now actually on your way back to Holyhead from Dublin. What are the conditions like now?
Much improved, but of course the swell was still there from earlier on today. It was quite a severe, and fortunately it passed through very quickly, although the wind speeds were very, very high indeed, and the seas did get quite rough. The swell isn't really there, so it does calm down very quickly. So going back now, well, I'm on board now. We've departed from Dublin. We're on our way back to Holyhead in far better conditions now, and as you can see, there's nothing falling off the tables this time.
Captain Matt Lynch, we'll let you get back to it. Safe travels, and thanks for talking to us.